I believe this is a British man because he uses pounds. r/self-improvement top post. I spent £20,000 on escorts. I think I'm a monster. I don't think I forgive myself, but I can't be this person anymore. How do I go on and even find a way to be a person I don't despise going forward? £20,000 on escorts. Before we go into this story, and I'm just going off of what you've said so far, I'm going to say this. You're helping the economy. Now. Does this person need to improve? Sure. Is this person living a lifestyle that's unsustainable? Probably. But he's going down this kind of spiral, right, where he hates himself. Okay? He's going down a spiral where and boy, this is why we have the chat. Comments like this right here is why we have the chat. Chad, thank you so much. Chad just added to the chat. He just needs to compare himself to P. Diddy. He's doing great. Chad, you hit the nail on the head. Do you know what this person is doing? They're spending certainly too much money on escorts who they are paying and who I assume are performing services consensually. Brother, it can get worse than that. Okay? Again, listen, I'm not some guy who's like, bro, it's awesome. No. This person clearly, they're posting on r/self-improvement. They're having a terrible time. Okay? So can some people see escorts and it's okay? Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that service definitely has benefits in certain areas of society. I think that even if you don't agree with that, I think that it's not something that's going to go away anytime soon. So that's something just to make peace with if you feel that way. I really do believe that. And it's been around for a long time. That's not the main justification for the fact that I think that it's something that should be legal and regulated, but I digress. Let's get into this guy's story. Bit of a backstory. I used to be morbidly obese and lost a lot of weight. I was covered in loose skin. I've known people who have had that issue. Boy, do I feel for them. True. I mean, I really I can totally this is sort of what I don't know if what I'm about to say is controversial or unpopular. By the way, let me put a caveat on this. I think there is a lot of sex work that is done coercively. I think there is a lot of sex work that is done in a environment that the generally women who do it are not happy, right? I think that definitely exists. In a world, or I mean, and there, by the way, there are these worlds. There are countries where sex work is more legal, it is more regulated, and it does exist in more of a balanced arena. Let's just say somebody who's going through something like this guy, they have something they're horribly self-conscious of. They need to get over. Now, am I advocating for this person to exclusively see sex workers and not try to build themselves up beyond that? Absolutely not. But does it make sense to me where it's like, oh yeah, maybe in a transitional period it would make sense that this person has physical needs. There are people who will consensually fulfill those physical needs for a price. And if a guy pays that price and that person services those needs, that should be the worst horrible thing ever? No, I don't think that. That's kind of where I stand. I hope I made my point there. If you have any questions, please throw them in the chat about that. I've been single and lonely for over 10 years. I recently discovered sex work is legal in the UK and easy to find. I was lonely, and I just thought once can't harm anyone. I had $20,000 my dying dad gave me. Oof. What could one time hurt? Cut to 6 months later, I spent all the money on drinking and cold binges with different escorts. My dad died during this time, and now I have more money coming in, a lot more, and I'm terrified. I know I'm a monster. Brother, you're not a monster. Bro, oh man, dude, sometimes I'll read something on r/self-improvement and I'll go, yeah, this is rough. Like someone will talk about hurting people in their life. They'll talk about cheating. Stories about cheating really, that personally gets me, and I'm like, oh, damn, that sucks. Like for the person that you did this to, and also I'm sure if you're trying to make amends, you as well. But when it comes to a guy like this, you just want to hug him. I just want to hug. I want to feel the folds. I do, 'cause that's a hard place to be. It really is. When you do something that you consider to be monstrous, and then you start thinking of yourself as a monster, it's such a slippery slope. It's never the way to go. I'm not saying there's not a place for reflection of someone's actions, maybe even a little bit of guilt and shame, a pinch of it, but not to this level. I don't think you should ever be calling yourself a monster. I know I've done an awful thing. I will say the escort I spent my money on was English, very high class, and definitely not traffic. Look at that. The man gets it. Monster, come on. I mean, listen, am I setting sort of a low bar here? But we need low bar. Why don't we have more low bars? Why don't we have more low bars? They're excellent. They're easy to get over and under. Well, easy to get over, not under. I had an STD check and am clean physically. The stain left on my soul is another matter. I have to do better, be a better person. But how on earth do you continue when you know what depths you're able to sink to? How do you go on? Let alone become better. I mean, dude, what are we talking about? Did you have a little slip up, lax in judgment, spend a little bit too much money? Absolutely. Do you maybe have a problem with you got a little bit of addicted tendencies? Sure, but also you have a lot going on. Your father passed away. You're dealing with these extreme changes to your body. Give yourself a little break here. Change the behavior for sure, but you're not also doing crack. Do you know how many people are in your situation and also doing crack? That's so true. Do you know how many people in your situation are also doing crack and stealing from their living parents? There are 18 people in my hometown with a population of 5,000 people who are currently doing all of those things. And they're not even posting about it on Reddit in remorse. They're going, how do I get more? They're going, how can I obtain more crack and sex work and stealing from my parents? There are people in my hometown, and I can guarantee you there is at least one right now, who is sitting in his room at the age of, I would say, 25 to 30, angry that his mom doesn't make more money, so he doesn't have more to steal. You, a man who is seeing a high-class escort, certainly spending too much money, but seeing a high-class escort, consensually, you're not doing that bad. Okay? Someone in the chat said, it's just a slightly expensive form of self-care. I would go ahead and say, now, Here's the crazy thing, and this is maybe where I am a little crazy. I've personally never seen a sex worker. I don't know how it actually is. I don't know what it actually is like. I have no clue. But to me, I do go, there is a world where I could see that sort of experience being therapeutic in the right circumstances. If you know there's no trafficking, if you know there's no pimp, I could see that being a experience that is therapeutic in some way. Um, but we can't go overboard and go, oh well, this guy's just doing self-care. No, he's probably acting in excess due to the trauma of the loss of his father. I think we can all probably agree that's what's going on. 20,000 pounds, which I can actually convert off the top of my head because I'm really, really smart. If you see me looking at my phone, I'm actually doing something else. Um, so I'm looking at hentai right now. Okay, is 25,000 US dollars. If he said 5,000, I would kind of go, buddy, you're living fine. Keep it in check. You got 25,000. That's a problem. 25,000 US dollars. That's an issue. Thank you, chat. So I would go ahead and say, don't hate yourself. You're not a monster. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say you're a thoughtful guy. You're a thoughtful guy. You're thinking about this woman. Do you? I mean, again, it's a low bar, but when you really look at people, I don't have a real negative view on humanity in general, but I do sometimes feel like shocked at what people will do. Like you have people being exploited, and you have so many people willing to do the exploitation. And the fact that you are at least concerned with that, I think we can let me know in the chat. I think we can give this guy a thumbs up for at least being considerate of that. I think we can give this guy a thumbs up in the chat for this guy at least doing his best, at least considering this other person at his darkest moment, in his darkest day. That's honestly, and I don't use this lightly, that's impressive to me. That's impressive to me. Okay? I really do feel that way. I don't have like deep addictive qualities and stuff, and I have a lot of friends that do, and when I hear their stories, a lot of them do have these moments of, even when they're in the throes of this addiction, they have like a level of self-control or a level of like at least understanding of and that is really like incredible to me.